First of all, I love this movie. I think it was very well written, but also I think it's Red Eye in a different font. But also, this is a review I have highly fucked up on. This is one of those movies I should have seen opening night or even earlier so that I could warn you about. But nothing in the advertisement at all insinuated it was going to talk about some of the subject matter that it did. And I was kind of thinking, oh, it's because they advertised it as a horror movie. But really, the commercials didn't advertise it as a horror movie. It looked like a suspense, which is exactly what it is, a suspense film. I think the only thing that kind of like insinuates that it's a horror movie is the fact that it's coming from Blumhouse. And Blumhouse puts it on there that it's from the studio that brought you Megan, A Quiet Place, and Happy Death Day. So I'm not going to blame them for that, although I do think Blumhouse needs like a separate opening or something, just so we know that just because it's from Blumhouse does not mean it's like a horror, like Lionsgate, because they have the scary opening for Saw, but then they have the nice opening for Medea. Either way, I'm going to take the L on that one for all of our sake. But anyways, welcome back, and once again, thank you for trusting me with your full spoiler movie reviews. That thing I do where I watch movies and then I tell you all about them. As always, I am unpaid and unsponsored. And spoilers, all the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, you can go ahead and scroll. I won't be offended. Spoilers. Okay, here we go. This is the 2025 film from Blumhouse, Drop. I think this might be the first good Blumhouse movie of 2025. I say good, that's not the right word. This movie's fucking amazing. But it's also incredibly like Red Eye meets Nonstop. Like, it's almost exactly Red Eye. But anyways, what's it about? We have a therapist named Violet. She's a domestic abuse survivor, and she has recently started specializing in therapy for domestic abuse survivors. She has a lot of trauma because she was in the abusive relationship, and when her son was an infant, things escalated out of control. Her husband pulled a firearm, threatened to harm both herself and her baby. It then proceeded to withdraw himself from the situation by means of death. I hope that explains what I'm talking about. But anyways, it's like 5 years later. She's going on a hot Tinder date. He's I guess he's a photographer, and he like works for the mayor's office. So her son is going to be watched by her sister while she goes on this hot date to a restaurant that's like really high up in the sky. You couldn't get my ass in there. I am afraid of heights. Anyway, she gets there, and the guy is running like 10 minutes behind, and it's a really swanky place. First, she runs into a guy and drops her phone, and then she sits at a bar where this old guy mistakes her for someone else who he's supposed to be on a blind date with. And then she starts getting memes from an airdrop. Well, they call it Digidrop, about how she's going to have a really shitty night. But the memes are kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. The memes are fire. Well, her date gets there, and they go to sit at the table, and then whoever's fucking airdropping her these memes has now started messaging her and has sent a man to, like, go into her house and kill her son if she doesn't comply. But she can't tell her date, otherwise he'll die. She can't tell anybody else in the restaurant, or the kid will die. Can't call for help because her phone's been cloned. Can't write a note because he's done access to the fucking security cameras in the restaurant. Oh, and the place has been bugged, so he can hear everything and see everything. And she's having to run around, like, really erratically, doing all sorts of weird shit, making it awkward. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, 2/3 of this movie, I had, like, secondhand embarrassment of her, like, actions in the restaurant. Like, I get it, but she can't explain it to the guy, so it's just really awkward. Like, first she has to steal the SD card out of her date's camera. The camera he uses at the mayor's office, because he works there, which he gets a phone call at the time, and it worked out really nice because she could climb like under the table to get the SD card out, but not before looking at the photos. Like, ma'am, you're on a time crunch. Why the fuck are you even looking at the photos right now? But come to find out that he was taking pictures of all sorts of illegal bank statements and stuff, but then she was instructed to take it into the bathroom and crush it and then flush it, which I don't know why we had to crush it and then flush it. It's an SD card. I think once it gets into the water and into the pipes, like, it's donezoed. But whatever. And then there was a little vial in the hand paper towel thing, and the bad guy was like, you got to put it in your date's drink and kill him, like you did your husband. Because the bad guy somehow knows everything about her domestic abuse situation, but just assume that she killed him. But whatever. I also wonder, what if there were like a lot of women who went to the bathroom that night? Like, what if a lot of people got food poisoning and then the little vial of poison fell out before she got in there, and then it wasn't there anymore, and then that idea was ruined? Also, how long was that restroom bugged before she got there? Was he just listening to women pee-pee? Is he a pee-pee pervert? Anyway, she basically goes back to the table. She's going to pretend to pour the poison into the shot glass, and then figures out that the old guy from the bar, who's supposed to be there on a blind date, is in fact the bad guy. And when he's not looking, she's going to pour the poison into his dessert. And then there's the big fight where they crack open the window to the really high up restaurant. People have been shot, people have been stabbed. Bad guy gets sucked out the window and he falls really far and dies. And then she's got to drive really fast home to kill the guy that's inside her house that's going to kill her son, which turns out just to be the meter reader guy at the very beginning. And so they try to restart their first date at the hospital because they have chemistry. There was just a lot going on. Anyways, the end. Now again, did I like it? Yes. It's really neat. It had me guessing until the end. I could not figure it out for the life of me. I feel bad that I couldn't tell people, like, what a lot of this entails, because there was, like, no hint to that. But I still like it. 10 out of 10. Okay, bye.